This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. Sid was forced out of his home this week by his wife to travel to the Pacific Northwest. Sydney was always very anti-Airbnb. Who knew that all it would take to turn him around on Airbnbs was being asked to step outside of his Airbnb? Our IP Livecast starts now.
Does Shannon have a promo code for Airbnb? With all the times she's mentioning Airbnb?
You just did it 2 times more, Rob.
But still less than she did it. Welcome to our RIP Livecast. It's Rob here with Sid and Darren. As you can see for our video viewers, Sid's location is different. He's not being surrounded by cats.
That we know of.
No,
He's
no
in
cats
the city
here.
of cat ladies, though. Portland, Oregon.
I suppose that's true.
How has your trip to the Pacific Northwest been so far, Sid? Are you homesick yet?
Always. But it's not bad. I'm keeping it together. I haven't had an anxiety attack yet. The food has been very good. I haven't been forced to go on every excursion that everybody else has gone on. I've been allowed to stay back a couple of times. Well, like if they're gonna go shopping and stuff, I ain't buying shit. Just let me stay here and like catch up on podcasts and whatever. And everybody's happier. They don't feel like they have to cut their stuff short because I'm standing outside the store pacing, and I can just chill and be myself.
But you're in the
Everyone gets a break.
Airbnb pacing then.
No, man, the Airbnb, like researching fantasy baseball stuff or listening to basketball podcasts or whatever. It's fine. It's like it's as much normalcy as I can get here. Basically.
Traveled 3,000 miles just to find home.
Yeah, that's how I got to make it work. But
we need breaks sometimes.
Yeah, but it's been fine. I've been lots of very 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 good food. We went to this Japanese garden, one of the few like things I actually did go to outside, and it was a hailstorm. When was the last time you guys experienced a hailstorm?
There was one in New York a few weeks ago.
There was?
Yeah, I got hailed on, I think. I don't know if it like what the parameters are for hail, but it felt like it was, it was slightly injurious.
Yeah. There were 2 in one day. I was inside for the other one, thankfully, but there were 2 hailstorms in one day. I'm like, I can't remember the last time I even experienced one, let alone 2. This is fucking wild. It's a lot of rain. What
were some food highlights?
We went to this place. Everything's been good, but the absolute standout so far has been this place called Eem, E-E-M. And it's like a fusion of Thai food and Texas barbecue. And holy fuck, it was so good. Like, my brain couldn't process what I was eating because, so we had this brisket fried rice, and it looked like Thai food. And then I take a bite, and it tastes exactly like Texas barbecue brisket. Like, it was wild. My mind thought I was in Texas at a barbecue restaurant. It was fucking crazy. It was so good. Then we had like a pork belly dish. We had a lamb that tasted like the lamb at Hometown Barbecue, Rob, that you would be familiar with. It was so fucking good. So yeah, this place was the highlight so far.
Oh my God.
Is that Dog the Bounty Hunter on a t-shirt for some reason?
It says Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Right. And why is there a picture of Tide pens also? What's that going on?
Yeah, this is just, I think, their Instagram.
Yeah. But yeah, this place was the highlight. Then we went to a very good Malaysian place last night. We went to a Peruvian place that was quite good. I like Peruvian. A lot of good breakfasts. Yeah, we're about once
podcasting highlights. What are some podcasting highlights from the week?
Well, you mean of podcasts that I listen to while everybody else is out doing stuff? There's, like I said, fantasy baseball information, some nightly basketball recaps.
I see. So you can't watch the basketball games. You can't pay.
Well, I was at a basketball game earlier.
The
Knicks Blazers game that was like crazy good, even though the Knicks fucking won on a buzzer beater in overtime.
The Sid Capsinel curse.
There's actually, I don't remember if we ever played this clip on the show, but in 2003 there was a viral moment at a basketball game where this girl, she was probably like 12 years old. She came out to sing the national anthem at a Blazers game. And halfway through, she like stumbled a little bit and forgot the words and just like froze, like full on deer in the headlights. And the Blazers coach walked up and like helped her finish. Like he like fed her the lyrics and sang with her. And it was this like super sweet, wholesome moment, right? So at the game I was at, they had that girl come out and sing the national anthem again. It was like her first time back at a Blazers game. And the Blazers coach then is now an assistant coach for the Knicks. So he was fucking in the house for her performance and she did not fuck up. And that was very cool.
That was going to be my next question. If she choked again.
No. I did sort of expect him to come out and like duet with her, but they did
that's
not
what I
have
thought.
That she did it on her own, and it was very nice. Though it was very jarring to be like, "Oh, that's what you look like 22 years later." Man, we're all fucking old.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yeah, 2003.
Oh, wow. Okay, I have a bone to pick with Rob. Also, something you just said. I don't think there's a Knicks curse for a Sid curse on the Knicks because if rooting against them. If that's what he's doing, I mean, it's been pretty successful. They're one of the worst NBA teams in history.
Though I was a fan for most of that run. They've been slightly better since I stopped being a fan.
But weren't they like slightly good when you were a fan?
I guess during the Patrick Ewing years.
That was one of the few times they were good in their history.
That's all right. Fair enough. Okay. So then, mission accomplished.
Yeah,
not while I was there.
Keep doing what you're doing.
So at the game, the annoying thing. So it was 6 of us, and I thought I got great tickets. Turns out it was the last fucking row in the arena. Like, what a great deal this is!
Like
but
nosebleeds?
I mean, as much as a basketball arena could have nosebleeds, it was like right on mid court though, so the view was good. It was just up a lot of stairs. But it was 6 of us, and I was on one end, and then on the other side of me, sitting next to me. So one side was all my group, and then next to me was 3 Israeli folks who were only there to root for the one Israeli player on the Blazers. So it was just anytime Denny Avdia had the ball, it was just like shouting Israeli accent right into my ear, right into my ear.
What were they shouting?
Go Denny, go Denny. There's a lot of that. And then stuff in Hebrew that I couldn't understand.
They were like us with Fentecchio at the Nets game.
It really was. Except we were doing it as a goof.
Fentecchio! So good.
Okay, Danny, shoot the ball, pretend the basket is a Palestinian.
Thankfully, there were in Portland, you never know. There's like political messages everywhere you go, but thankfully there was nothing like that to get them upset.
Yeah. Lock on target.
Speaking of, political messages, as I said, like every house has signs. Like everywhere you go, it's like, left-leaning signs.
I remember
but
that.
Me and everybody I'm here with, we all on our own came to the same observation that we think we've seen more Black Lives Matter signs than we've seen actual black people.
That's
in Portland.
That rings true from when I was there.
Yeah.
I went there in the first 6 months of the first Trump administration. So it was like it was different. It was like a different time in the cultural zeitgeist.
Black Lives Matters.
Yeah, it was like don't take away our abortion, and it was like more woman coded. I feel like most of the signs were like protect our women and stuff, but it was the same thing,
Yeah. Here I'm seeing lots of Black Lives Matter and lots of don't arm Israel or free Palestine. It's mostly this. And then the obligatory, like, in this house, we believe, and then it's just that like laundry list. There was one house, though, and I don't know if this is my favorite or my least favorite. It's like right around the corner from the Airbnb, where every window in this house has just a piece of loose leaf paper, and on it is handwritten, "Not my president."
Just get a real sign. Pretty affluent area, right?
More or less, yeah.
Maybe all his money goes to his property taxes.
I guess so.
Support mom and pop sign printing shops. What are you doing?
Well, have I talked about this on the show? In my neighborhood, which is a very as left as you could possibly be neighborhood, there's these. I saw the ceasefire now sign in somebody's window, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And this was like relatively, a few months after October 7th. And Then, like, I walked another block or two, and I saw the same exact design, "Ceasefire Now," in someone else's window. And I've come to see like 20 of them around the neighborhood, to the point where I'm just like, where did they get, like, where's everyone getting the same? Does someone just hand these out at a meeting? Like, what's going on here?
So are you getting all conspiratorial, like the right-wing people saying that these are all paid
I'm sorry.
agitators?
No. It turned from, oh, that's nice, to like, this is the most empty gesture I could. This is less than the least you could do.
Well, it goes
that
back
was my feeling
to what Sid was saying with the each house has a certain defined list of things that do not, the beliefs that are not welcome in the house. If you live there, do you feel like you have to put a sign up now? Because if you're the one house on the block, they're going to firebomb you and think you're like a neo-Nazi family or something.
The silence would be deafening.
Right.
You have to say something.
And what a crock of shit that is. Like, I'm for all that stuff, but like, you let the guy not have a sign if he doesn't feel
it's like the liberal version of being the one house on the block that doesn't do Christmas lights.
Yeah. Yeah, they must
Brooklyn?
hate Christmas.
Yeah.
Bunch of Grinches.
And then there's just pressure from all your neighbors.
Well, Sid, you mentioned a basketball game. In other basketball news, Chicago Bulls fans are very upset, much like we are, with Disturbed's existence. The band Disturbed.
Yes.
Because they recently played the United Center.
I do not support Disturbed's right to exist.
So they played the United Center. They had some crazy pyrotechnic display. Like, here is a wide shot of what it looks like. It's just this rigging that's on fire. These giant kind of scaffolding that's on fire.
But just so I don't set myself up for disappointment with this story, did David Drainman become? Did he get immolated?
No.
How would you be able to tell the difference?
He burned all his hair off. Oh wait,
yeah.
Hold
on. His labret piercing melted.
His screaming would sound better than his music. Sorry, Rob.
So this is the headline in the Chicago Tribune, which is the New York Times of Chicago, right? Like, probably. Anyway,
sure. All I know is Roger Ebert. They wrote for the.
It's like the big Chicago, Chicago rag.
One of those two.
I think Siskel was Tribune and Ebert was Sun-Times.
Okay. Then definitely the Sun-Times is better, Rob.
Yeah. The Tribune, I think, was a little bit more right-leaning.
I see. So the Tribune's the Post.
Yeah.
Chicago Bulls championship banners damaged during concert and won't return to United Center rafters this season. The banners commemorating the Chicago Bulls' 6 NBA championships will not be displayed at the United Center for the remainder of the season. The banners were removed when United Center staff discovered minor damage to them after a concert Saturday, according to a source. The concert, which featured 3 Days Grace, Seven Dust, and local headliner Disturbed, included pyrotechnics located directly underneath the banners. After the concert ended, the fabric of all 6 banners showed significant heat damage that warped their bottom halves. The Bulls display 6 banners celebrating NBA title wins in 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, 98, flanked by banners for their 9 division. Blah, 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 blah. United Center originally hoped the banners would be returned to the rafters by Thursday's game against the Brooklyn Nets. However, the repairs will require a longer timeline past the end of the NBA regular season in April. Okay, so it's just gone for like 2 months. But still, that's crazy. How
did
dare
they
you
not,
Disturbed?
But like, how did like venue staff not think about this before the show? Like, they knew what the setup was going to be, right? Like,
maybe. I guess they have to get clearance for this sort of stuff, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, like
how?
You can see a little bit of that there.
Well, it's not like it's so close that it's almost touching. It's just like the smoke, I guess. But I don't know. It's also weird that that's the first time that's come up. Like, if they regularly have concerts, you think someone had pyro before. Like, the stage is in a uniform place for every show, right?
Yeah, I guess maybe for this, I don't know. Also, are the banners usually at the end of the? Yeah, they are, right? They're like around the rim of the
It depends. I
venue.
mean, some teams have more banners to hang, so you have to go all the way around.
It's true.
What are we, like 20 games from the end of the season, something like that?
Yeah,
How is
about
it
15, 20.
How is it possible that they can't get the fucking banners back? Like, you can't make a new banner? Why don't they coordinate with the people in Rob's neighborhood and just get this? Like, they did the signs so quickly. Get a fucking banner up there.
In this house, we believe the Bulls are 6-time champions.
Hold on, you can't get a new banner because those banners mean something. They're timeless artifacts.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
I mean, I'm sure that is the explanation, but
yeah.
they could also just do a switcheroo. Like, who's gonna fucking know?
Yeah, no one would have known these idiots burned the banner in the first place if they didn't fucking announce it. Just stick a new banner up there tomorrow.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, the banners are just reminders of how shitty the Bulls have been the last 20 years.
That's a good point.
Get him out of there. You make everybody feel bad.
So you're saying disturb them a favor by setting this shit on fire.
Exactly right.
It is funny to me to think about like the guitarist or the bassist who still lives in Chicago because they're from Chicago, Disturbed, and like going to the local deli, be like, "Hey, jerk off! You real funny there. You fire ruining our banners. You're not welcome here no more. No more egg sandwiches. Get out of here."
Jersey.
Do you think that the bassist from Disturbed gets recognized on the street anywhere?
Well, it's just this is his regular. Well, no, maybe the guitarist. The guitarist is a tall guy.
What's his name?
Dan Donegan or something like that.
Why do you know that, Rob?
Hey, Donegan.
Why do I know that? Because it was my job to write about them for
from your brain. I'd have hoped you'd replace that information by now.
He's the only other member of the band whose name I know.
Aren't you Donegan? I heard what you did to our banner.
Hey, Donegan.
Come over here. I seen what you did at the Chicago Center. Come here. You just want to talk. We just want to talk.
Exactly. That's what I want.
Heard there was a little fire.
Are they making Disturbed pay for the cleaning of the banners?
Well, I that's kind of another thing that I kind of find humorous is they haven't really commented or apologized or anything.
I'm sure they're like, nah, it's our roadie's fault. We don't control that stuff. Blame him. He's a dewclaw. He's a total waste of.
They have insurance, like so.
But like, this can't be the first like hard rock. Like Metallica's never played there. They have pyro. Plenty of bands have pyro. I don't understand how this has never come up before.
I think it's because the pyro is so tall here. I don't think it's usually the pyro is usually at stage level, so it doesn't rise that high. So I think that's probably.
This reminds me of the time at the temple. Rob, you probably remember this. That band Tree Fort. They would sometimes like blow fire.
They breathed fire,
make a mess.
Fire breathing.
What? And like.
So
there was
to be clear, like the ceiling was not 10 feet from
pretty low.
The ground.
And so there was just like black soot all over the ceiling, and we had to get a ladder, and somebody like had to clean, like wash the ceiling.
Not so. Lonnie, who obviously
was it Lonnie?
Did the shows with you. No. He got the mop, he got the bucket, and he went to the guy who did the fire breathing and went, "Here, clean that shit up that you did."
That's right.
And he made him do it. And of course the guy did it.
That happened a few times. There was another much shittier band that was throwing cereal around, like milk and cereal, and Lonnie made them like mop the floor and clean the cereal off the floor.
So wait, when they were at the temple, this band doing their fire show, did they singe the Yeshiva Boys High School championship banners that they had in the rafters of the?
We were smart enough to take those down before the show.
Oh, okay. We don't want to have to make another banner. It's very costly.
But we were so disorganized. We had no idea there was going to be like fire breathing. They didn't tell us. They just showed up and did their set and like, whoa, wait, what's going on in there?
They didn't get permits from the fire marshal.
They were like 42-year-old Ricky the Dragon Steamboat making a comeback in WWF with the fucking fire breathing thing. Is that what?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
It was quite a spectacle until like you mentioned, you saw the ceiling, and it's just like, oh shit. And I do remember the chaperone, the
Elroy?
representative from the synagogue, being very upset. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
the fuck is going on?
Yeah, we have very tight standards for fire breathing in here. We don't mind the fire breathing.
It's only when we do the
It's the
sacrifice.
Shabbos. You can't light a fire on the Shabbos.
Yes.
It's a shanda.
The protocols of the elders of Zion clearly states fire breathing shall be done in no lower than a 7-foot high ceiling.
Yeah. And only on Tuesdays when we drink Christian baby blood.
Exactly. This man as a standards and practices person. I'm just picturing them playing that fucking dumb Chicago Bulls theme song, and
Oh, yeah.
And now the starting lineup. Wait a minute, where's the fucking banner? Wait a minute, who burned that fucking banner?
Disturbed. That would be pretty great. So yeah, we hope Chicago never allows Disturbed
Yeah.
to play
banned for
again, and
life.
ultimately that they end up getting banned in the whole country, because those are going around now. These bans and deportations. The Bill of Rights doesn't mean anything anymore.
Do they?
So,
Do they still play that stupid song? The Alan
I
Parsons
can't
song?
imagine that they do. I don't think so.
Is that it was? I didn't
Why
know if that
wouldn't
was a
they?
Michael Jordan thing or a Bulls. You know what I mean? Like, is it?
It
that
might just
era?
be when the Bulls are good thing, and it would just sort of be embarrassing to do it when they're 10th place.
Yeah, right.
I hope. I don't think they do.
have they ever been good again since?
Yeah, when they had like Derrick Rose and Joakim
Oh, that's
Noah,
right.
they had a little run there. But now they're very mediocre. They've been very mediocre for quite a long time.
And now, at starting point guard, Lonzo Ball. Like, no.
That's the guy whose brother does a rap song.
Which brother? Don't they have 8 brothers? I have lose track.
Leangelo had
Yeah.
like
Is
a
that-
hit song.
That's the guy with the dad who's like a very.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the Serena Williams father of basketball.
Except way more obnoxious. There will not be a movie about that guy.
More self-promoting.
Yes,
Their
yes.
father stayed in the shadows,
Yeah.
abusing them.
His father just abuses the public in general. With his
Yeah, that's-
presence.
If you stay in the shadows, that's how you get played by Will Smith in the movie.
And then Will Smith can abuse a comedian on your behalf.
It's all goes full circle.
What's the dad's name? Lonzo Ball? Was that?
No, LeVar.
LeVar Ball.
He's been made fun of on SNL. Kenan Thompson used to do. Now LeVar's not famous enough, and most of his sons aren't that good. But when he was at the peak of his celebrity, Kenan Thompson would come on and do an impression.
I just know him because at the peak of his celebrity, they had him on WWE because they were so
Of course they
desperate for
did.
any sort of
Yeah.
rub from like a mainstream ESPN kind of person, and it was just a total train wreck.
Of course, I believe that.
Now, I don't remember the Kenan Thompson impression, but I'm going to go out on a limb. Did it sound exactly like Kenan Thompson talking?
More or less, yes.
Okay.
It was basically the Steve Harvey impression.
It's sort of, yeah, just like a slightly more bombastic version with a slightly tweaked mustache, but yeah, pretty much.
One gear, that guy.
I wanted to quickly talk about Trump. There's a lot of shitty stuff happening in politics.
When isn't there?
Right, when isn't there? But the censorship stuff of Mahmoud Khalid is very disappointing and scary. Scary. Even regardless of your political leanings, I do think it is.
Well, I think some people would say their political leanings are right behind censoring and deporting people they don't like. But
Yeah.
I guess.
You literally just wanted to censor and deport David D. Rainman, Rob.
That's all right, though. That's different. That's a hostile terrorist. I don't think Khalil
I mean,
is one.
but we're joking around, but isn't that isn't that a valid argument? Like, if you think if you're rooting on your current government censoring and deporting people, can't the next government just do that to like fucking Ben Shapiro or whatever dipshit that you like. Seems like a slippery
Theoretically, but we know they wouldn't.
Cowards.
But
Which is
No,
bummer.
but right, which is why I'm against all of it. I mean, I'm just joking about the David D. Raymond deportation, but I'm very against any form of censorship.
Mm-hmm.
See, it made me sit up straight. This is getting me agitated. Don't get me started, folks.
Make sure if you sit up too straight, you're gonna brush your head against those championship Bulls banners that you have in your room there.
But despite the seriousness of many things, the economy tanking and all that, there is still room for some comedy in Trump world. And I'd like to highlight some of that. There was a lovely moment. This feels like an SNL sketch, or not even an SNL sketch, like an Israeli SNL sketch, like a bad SNL sketch. Here he is doing an interview.
Mr. President, you got clear.
Whoa!
And he gets swiped by the
Look at the side eye.
the mic flag, and then gives the most comical reaction. So let me go back a little and play it out, because this is a fucking comedy show. It's great.
Mr. President, obviously you're concerned about the situation in Gaza. What are the hopes now to get the hostages back?
Was that Tom Green that did that?
Became a big story tonight.
It's a big story tonight. Did you see that? Oh, he's so pissed. That tongue thing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Did you see that?
He wants to punch her.
I think that's what the level of democratic resistance is, right?
Yeah.
They got a mole into the audio team. So that
Is he going to show up now to rallies with a Band-Aid on his chin? Like what he got shot at? That'll be the new thing.
He'll show up with a Band-Aid on his chin because of the wound he took, and then all the lib rallies they'll stop wearing pussy hats, and they'll wear their heads will all be mic boom covers.
Well, I want to say, if anyone is taking this bad, it's Trump supporters.
What?
Because here's some replies to the video. What did that person wipe on the
God.
president's mouth?
Oh, come
Let
now.
me try again. What the fuck did that person wipe on the president's mouth?
Yes.
Somebody responds, come.
Vaccine serum they wiped on his.
My thoughts exactly. Mike needs to be tested for all agents. She assaulted the president. An attempt to poison him?
How do we know it's she? Was the person exposed or?
The president said that.
I see.
Gendered the mic person. Other comments. I agree. Could have had something on the mic. Fentanyl, anthrax, herpes.
The first thing they go to is fentanyl. That's great.
Do we?
And
know
look,
for
it's
sure
a
they're
V.
not trying to
They got a
poison
V for Vendetta avatar.
Of course.
That's great.
The U.S. Secret Service seems determined to let Trump be assassinated. That microphone could have been laced with a deadly chemical. Yes, it could have been laced with fentanyl, another fentanyl thing. The camera and mic crew should be arrested and all equipment seized and tested for biological weapons or poisons. This is despicable. There have been several attempts to take Trump out. This should be treated as an assassination attempt.
Oh my God.
I mean,
this person respects pronouns. Should have been knocked to the ground and arrested immediately. Secret Service failed on this one.
but they won't go all the way. They put she first. He.
I don't understand why they were reacting like this. If it was laced with a poisonous chemical, wouldn't Trump already be dead? Or is
Maybe
it like one of those poisonous chemicals that takes 15 years and then you just die of natural causes?
Well, here, that mic could have had the same shit on it that killed that Russian guy.
I mean, his body is
Certain
like
type of radioactive material.
Oh, Rob, what do you think of that guy? Do you think would you smash?
No.
It looks sort of jacked.
his body is like 87% Jack in the Box burger grease, anyways. And I don't think he's gonna make it 15 years.
Jack
It's
in the
like
Box
that-
was my first meal in Portland on this trip.
Get out of here. I
Drive
did not
through
know
all the way
that.
from the airport.
Random joke.
What'd you have?
Egg rolls and honey garlic sriracha boneless wings.
They have egg rolls at Jack in the Box.
Apparently, it was okay.
It's news to
Nothing
me.
special.
Jack in the Box is maybe the most overrated. Like people rave about how good Jack in the Box is. I think anything that just goes away and isn't around your area, people just say it's fucking good.
Yeah, it's like any other generic fast food. It's fine.
It's like the burger. I'm sorry, the McDonald's with the chicken Big Mac, or the McRib. Either one of those, they go away for like 10 years and they come back and the McRib is back. Oh my!
Very
goodness.
good marketing.
Yeah, just take it away. That's the marketing. Just don't sell it anymore.
Yeah.
Then you start selling it.
The other ridiculous moment in Trump world this week is, nobody wants a Tesla anymore. Everyone's really the key target demo for Tesla, I would say, would be the exact people that are very turned off by Trump and Musk's policies. So sales are down, stock is crashing. A lot of Elon's debt is leveraged against Tesla stock and his wealth. So with that being down, debt collectors come, being like, hey, you got to start paying up. And so he's in this weird moment. Allegedly, there's some report that he was crying in the White House. And so to appease him, Trump staged this entire public infomercial. He turned the White House into a fucking car dealership for Tesla.
Oh, God.
And had all these cars out. And there, every once in a while, he still got it. He still says something that will now be forever in the lexicon. And I like to play this clip of him getting into a Tesla, which I would say, as I mentioned on the show before, I once had a rental in LA and I got to drive one around for a few days. And I could definitively say I would never, ever buy a Tesla. It is a toy. It is a widget that you drive. It is not a car.
I had a friend that I would occasionally carpool with to casinos in the Philadelphia area, and he had a Tesla, and it was not a smooth ride, I will say. Not at all.
I'd rather not. I would just say that. So with that said, here's Trump getting into a Tesla, and see if you could spot the great quote.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful.
There it is. Hold on. Everything's computer. Wow. Everything's computer. Love it.
I mean, that is basically modern life, right? He's just put it in a very nice little phrase. You put that on a T-shirt. He's going to be selling that at his rallies now.
That's why he's the fucking president.
Well, this was a big hit with the Zoomers, I got to tell you. Because one of my school chats that I'm still in, even though the classes are over, a bunch of us stayed in this chat, and it's just become like Zoomers exchanging memes. And
of
everything the other, oh my God, everything's computer for up and down the list. The whole, just scroll for 2 hours. Everything's computer. It's fantastic.
Beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful. Wow.
There's a little.
He hasn't driven in 37
Yeah,
years.
does he know? Like, if they asked him right now to just drive around?
It's probably just a digital odometer or something. And
Well, that's the thing also. He hasn't driven in 30-something years, and everything is completely different on a fucking Tesla because everything is in the panel, in the center console, as opposed to, behind the wheel, as it would normally be. The stick is behind the wheel as opposed to on the side. It takes a little bit of getting used to. And when was the last time Donald Trump was in the passenger seat of a car? He's been driven everywhere his entire fucking life.
And on top of that, he puts up the fucking barrier to the person driving the car because they're a commoner. Like, he doesn't see what's going on the dashboard.
Let's go back again and hear that great quote. Hold on.
That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful. Wow.
Wasn't that a Radiohead album?
That Photoshop must already exist, right?
Yeah, it's just a break.
Really?
I saw it on Twitter.
Give a secret service about it there.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Can you start it?
Should I?
Should I? Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, it's so do you want to actually drive it? Okay.
You don't want me to drive it, do you?
Yes, we do.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, it might go up in
Yeah,
flames
oh,
after 10 feet.
you're the only one that saw it.
So it's like driving a golf cart, basically.
Very simple.
It's very simple. So it's literally
Oh,
like
God.
a golf cart that goes.
It's like he's at a fucking dealership.
There's no
Elon's trying to
This is
sell
really
him.
amazing.
The next 40 minutes of this is him explaining cars to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I think Biden could get into that car. I don't know.
Oh, for fuck's
What?
sake! What?
It's
Still on
so
Biden.
funny. You can't
That's
even
so petty.
drive.
Like, Biden deserves it, but it's just like, you should be above that. Like, move on. You're doing other things now.
And is it that difficult to get into a car?
I mean, for Biden, come on. Maybe. 50-50.
There it is. Everything's computer.
Oh, okay.
There's one more moment that I want to queue up, if you can humor me. That I really enjoyed. Here it is. Now this is a clip from Seth Meyers, so ignore that. I just couldn't find this clip isolated otherwise.
It's okay. Forgive you.
He came out, he endorsed me very strongly, and I admired that and respected that, and I respected him for years. I respected him. Thank you all very much. I love Tesler.
Points.
Thank you all very much. I love Tesler.
Isn't that
I
the
love
name of that
Tesla.
Brooklyn Jewish politician, Heshi Tesler, that we used to talk about?
The guy who barricaded the
Yeah,
public
he's just
park.
endorsing Heshi.
What did they do? Oh, they stormed the public park in Brooklyn after COVID. Like, we want our children to play on swings
Who's having
again.
rallies
That's
in
right,
like
that's
Borough
right.
Park or something?
She does. Sounds like one of those Orthodox Jewish characters from The Sopranos. You got to go
Exactly.
talk to Shlomo Tesler. Oh, we're going to talk to him.
I love Tesler. Which one did you buy? Yeah. Which one? Thank you all very much. I love Tesler.
Oh my God.
Tesler.
Okay, that's enough.
It's like Mike
speaking of-
Francesa.
I was just gonna say a perfect transition to Dusty Rhodes Welfare threw this in the chat. Allegedly, Mike Francesa yelled at his staff for a few minutes on the air last night, not realizing he had a hot mic. Mike with a hot mic. That should be like his after show. Hot mic with Mike.
Well, he had mic'd up, and that got
that's right.
copyrighted, and he can't use it anymore. NBC
Yeah.
fucked him on that.
This is the new one. Let's hear.
They have, excuse me, who's correcting me? Hello? Stop. Break the tape. Who's correcting me?
How
Who was
dare
that?
you?
Who said that?
It's fascinating.
He's
Who
having
was
a
talking
stroke.
to me?
Yeah, nobody said anything. Mike.
I
Well,
guess
what
you
were
can't hear
you
the
guys
other end.
talking about? Because I heard it in my headset. I thought you were talking to me.
No, it's just
Now,
I keep
who
hearing a
said that
voice
the
saying,
Big
"Walk
East
into
has
the
been
light."
one of-
yeah, it's just,
Who is that?
it's much funnier to imagine this whole dialogue when it's a monologue. Like, there's no one
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, there's no other person.
There's no even nobody working on this with him. He's
You just said that. Yeah, but who said it?
he doesn't realize we can't hear all.
Okay, one of you guys just said that St. John's has won the Big East tournament. They have not won the title yet. You win the title tomorrow night. The championship trophy goes with tomorrow night's winner. It does not go with the regular season champion. It
Okay.
can't, because if it did, why the hell would you have a tournament?
Fair.
So you're wrong about that. The
You're
title
wrong.
goes to who wins tomorrow. They are the regular season champs, but that's not the championship for the title.
But
The title, the trophy, comes to the winner of tomorrow night's game, no matter who it is. They have to do that, because otherwise, why the hell have a tournament? If St. John's had already won the title, what are these 4 days for?
To whoever's-
So whoever said that is wrong. The
Whoever the
championship of
ghost
the
is
league
talking in his
decided
ear,
tomorrow
I want to
night.
be fair to them.
That's the title.
It is kind of
That's who holds up-
confusing nomenclature. What do they won the title, but they didn't win the title? They got to now go for the trophy and the title. Like, why? If they won the title, why is there a tournament?
Well, because they won the regular season title, but that just gives you seeding for the tournament, and the tournament is who won the actual.
No, I
thing,
understand
I
what's
think.
happening. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, it's confusing terminology for anyone who's listening to this. I don't blame whatever jerk off is in his ear, like not getting it straight because it's so stupid. It's like the Intercontinental title, U.S. title, the Hardcore title.
But like the fact that he needs to derail his show to yell to a disembodied voice that none of us can hear instead of just plowing on. No, if he knows he's right, then why is he even acknowledging the person saying the wrong thing? Just
Yeah,
push forward.
Dress them down in the corridor later or something, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Listen, that was
Up
a poor
the trophy.
performance.
Whoever wins tomorrow night cuts down the nets. That's how it works. So whoever said that doesn't know what they're talking about. All right.
Also, does
Now
he
let's go
not
back
know
and
his
start this over
employees?
again.
Like, how many people could it possibly be? It's a fucking one-man podcast.
Yeah.
There's probably one person recording it. Like,
Yeah, like how many people get to touch the script, right? Because that's what he's saying. Someone here wrote that this. It's like who? There's only one.
no,
person.
he's saying that he said it correctly, and then the producer at his ear was like, "No, Mike, you're wrong. It's
Oh.
ba," and he's now having an argument with the voice in his ear.
Well,
none
that
of us
lends
can
itself to the argument that he's not hearing anything like real of this earthly realm. Like he's hearing something bouncing around in his head.
It's the ghost of Lou Carnesecca. Mike, join us. We have the Big East trophy here. It's amazing.
Your hair is 93% white. You're almost there.
It's fucking wild how he really does just look like Rosie O'Donnell. It's fucking they're like twins.
Moreover, at every point of each of their lives, they look identical. Like young Rosie looks like young Mike.
Somebody needs to Photoshop Mike Francesa's face onto Rosie O'Donnell's body from that. What was that movie called? Exit to Eden, where she was like in bondage.
Oh, yeah.
Here, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, she was
From like the early 2000s,
naked
late
in that
90s.
movie or something. Oh no, she was like she had a she had leather gear on or something.
Yeah. So somebody needs to Photoshop Deuterino if you're listening. There you go.
Someone did it already. Look, there's Mike. Oh no, that's Rosie. Sorry. Isn't she
Look how
partially naked in that or something?
She looks so uncomfortable. I feel so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, she does look bad.
You said she doesn't, or she does look
No.
bad? She looks like a regular average, like, you know, it's jarring to see someone in a movie of her shape because it doesn't
It's
happen.
jarring to think Rosie O'Donnell was ever this young.
Yeah.
But yeah,
she was not unattractive when she was younger, but it was just regular looking, you know, nice looking woman. But she starts talking, she has like a very Mike Francesa aesthetic about her. Yeah. It's very off-putting.
Well, nowadays, you know, she definitely.
Oh,
it's the same. The face, the hair, everything.
Choice of glasses.
It's unreal.
You'd think if you looked exactly like Mike Francesa, you'd choose different glasses.
Do they hang out? Have they met?
They've got to be aware of each. I mean, I'm sure Rosie O'Donnell's a massive, former movie star, but so I'm sure Mike Francesa knows about her.
Yeah,
but she's from New York. She has to know Mike Francesa, right?
It's fucking crazy.
Which one is this? I can't tell.
Wait, someone's talking in my ear.
Wait, zoom out. Is there a Diet Coke in the frame? Then I think it's probably Rosie.
It's over again, and I don't want to hear you guys in my headset, okay?
Okay.
So whoever's bleeding through, knock it off.
Knock it off.
Because I heard you guys talking, and the information you were given was wrong.
What a pleasant work environment.
What?
What?
No, we'll start over again.
Let me ask you guys this. How much would you pay
We broke off the edit
to be able to break into his fucking audio feed whenever you want to be the disembodied voice fucking with him?
Well, I was saving up $12,000 to go meet Gene Simmons, but now you've made me reconsider.
I think this is the better investment.
$12,000 to go break into his headset.
Yeah, I think that's worth
just at any point, just start whispering sweet nothings to Mike Francesa during his podcast.
Wait, which one?
What would you say?
Which one of you just told me that you wanted to lick my nips? Who was that? First
Mike,
of all,
can you hear me? It's Joe Pepitone. All those dreams you had about me, they were real. I was there. It's okay.
we
feel bad.
We got Joe Pepitone on the line now.
Who's Joe Pepitone? For those of us not in the sports world?
Cue up a picture of him, Rob. He's a former Yankee from like the Mickey Mantle era.
Yeah, he's from the era. He's like well known for being like the middle era between when they were great in the 60s and great in the 70s. It was right in the middle when the Yankees were horrible. He was like the face of the Yankees.
Just
Mickey
aggressively
Mantle
Italian.
Yes, Mickey Mantle was getting old, and he was like supposed to be the next Mickey Mantle, and he just was
Very
terrible.
handsome as a young man.
Oh, really? He's like
You
he's
think
sort
so?
of got a little Luigi in him, no?
Yeah, I could see it.
The eyebrows.
He looks like every non-Jew that went to school with me.
But this is a caricature, basically.
I guess he's still alive.
I don't
this
think so.
This guy also had a scandal for doing coke, I think, in the 60s.
I believe that.
With that schnoz, how could you avoid it?
Pepitone. Oh, he only
he
died
smoked
2 years
weed.
ago. March
Smoking
13th,
weed?
23.
Screwing with Sinatra. Nice.
Did you say scrotum with Sinatra?
Screwing with Sinatra.
Oh.
I remember this is going to be only for Sid, so I apologize, audience. But I remember Steve Summers.
Of course.
When that movie 61 came out about Roger Maris, they did a parody sketch on the radio show and called 66, and it was like all Joe Pepitone and all the scandals that the
so here's what you were referring to, Darren. Pepitone and two other men were arrested in Brooklyn on March 18th, 1985. After being stopped by police for running a red light. The car contained 9 ounces of cocaine, 344 Quaaludes, a freebasing kit, a pistol, and about $6,000 in cash. Pepitone denied knowing the drugs and guns were in the vehicle. He spent 4 months at Rikers Island.
9 ounces is over a quarter ounce of cocaine. That is a lot of cocaine.
I mistakenly thought this was during his playing career, but he must have been retired.
There's more. There's more stuff. In January 92, Pepitone was charged with misdemeanor assault in Kiamesha Lake, New York, after a scuffle police said was triggered when Pepitone was called a has-been.
Well, I mean,
he was arraigned in town court and released after he posted $75 bail.
They didn't really care that much when they requested $75 bail.
All right.
But that's like $40,000 today.
I have more. In October 1995, Pepitone was arrested and charged with driving while intoxicated after losing control of his car in the Queens Midtown Tunnel. Police found him bloody, disoriented, and mumbling as he was walking through the tunnel. They had charged him with drunk driving after he refused a sobriety test. He pled guilty. When asked if he was staying away from alcohol, Pepitone responded, "I don't drink that much."
It sounds like the Mike Francesa podcast, drunk, disoriented, and mumbling.
Just put a mic on him.
Just have Mike wander through the Queens Midtown Tunnel for an hour and a half.
Just asking drivers what they think of the Yankees bullpen.
Yeah, you stage it. Just stack all the drivers with people who want to fuck with Mike Francesa. Hey, Mike, remember that time you fell asleep? Hey, shut up!
There's a few more seconds of this.
Okay,
Mike
more
Francesa
Rosie.
audio. Let's play it.
Yeah, didn't we? We're live?
We're live?
This was all on the air. Just yell at you guys.
Oh, they
What?
have to be fucking with it.
It's so good.
You got to be kidding me.
Wait, we gotta extract that and really blow that up.
This was all on the air. Just yell at you guys.
This part.
Just yelled at you guys.
What? You got to be kidding me.
Did you hear that?
You got to be kidding me.
Dying.
Okay. You guys have got to be kidding me.
These heavy exhales are
All
so
right.
good.
I apologize for that outburst, okay, folks. I didn't realize we were live. I thought we were taping this.
The
Okay,
human
that's my
drama
mistake.
of
I
what
didn't
we just
realize
saw
that.
unfold is fucking amazing because so he's furious at these guys for talking to him while he's doing the show. But he doesn't think it's on air. He explodes at them. Then he realizes it was all live and he doesn't want to come off like a dick on his show. So now he's even madder at them because he came off like a dick when he doesn't want to come off like a dick, but he has to stifle it now. So the struggle going on inside his fucking brain is amazing.
How much
Now.
would they possibly pay to be a board op on the Mike Francesa podcast that you'd endure this abuse?
It's just internship credit for Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Oh, imagine. Oh,
I mean, you're probably not that off.
The person would not finish this show. Like, why would you take this?
Can you imagine the turnover rate on this show?
Oh my God.
It was 4 different people in his ear during that rant because 3 of them quit.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't know anybody's name. They only last like 2 weeks.
The last 8 seconds. They hired a new intern in the middle of that conversation.
So this is going to go viral now because I yell at you guys. You realize that?
Oh, well.
But the championship goes to tomorrow night. Still,
Still on it.
Yes, they won it.
Oh, bless.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
He's got to re-emphasize.
Excuse me, who's?
He's breaking into our show now. Can I talk, Mike, please? This is my show.
Holy shit.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you also to the Back After This Twitter account for always pulling these great mic clips.
Sid is a guy who is just delusional, okay?
Hold on.
I'm not really in Portland. This is just a different room in my apartment.
I don't like Sid.
Okay.
See, we have another exhale in this clip that we're gonna get.
It's just more visual than audible. And again, this is all while he's talking about his alma mater, St. John's, having the best season that they've had in decades, and he's still fucking sour as hell. He can't even enjoy it. He's just finding things to be upset about.
Yeah. They won, but they didn't win. They won. They win tomorrow, then they win, even though they won already.
They don't have a trophy yet. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
you don't understand.
You're wrong. Yeah, you are wrong. Incorrect. Inaccurate.
Let's see what else do we got here.
More Mike.
Another in more political news. I don't know if this is necessarily funny, more sad.
Oh,
funny.
Okay. Can't wait.
A woman in Idaho is being reprimanded for a sign.
Oh,
in her
no.
classroom.
Not from Portland?
Not from Portland. Well,
we'll see what the sign says.
You would think I believe the people reprimanding her would argue that she's from Portland. Here's how this absurd news report. Let's watch it.
I was told that it's not content neutral, that it's a personal opinion.
A West Ada school teacher is being told to remove 2 signs of inclusion from her middle school classroom because the school district says it violates policy. Sarah.
Okay, so signs of inclusion that violate policy.
Should we do a guess here?
Yeah, like I mean, obviously I know the answer, so I'm not. Can you guess what the signs say? Like, or just some guess of like what level of inclusion?
I'm gonna guess it's something about girls in STEM.
Okay. I'm gonna guess something along the lines of like love is love, without specifically naming gay people or any kind of demographic. Just love everyone.
You're warmer, Darren, for sure. And I hope the listener at home, in your earbuds, if you're not watching, you have come up with the sign that you think, and then you will all be blown away at how much more generic it is.
Sarah Inama has taught world civilization to 6th graders at Lewis and Clark Middle School.
Who just corrected me in my ear?
And for the past 4 years, Sarah had these signs up in her classroom. One that said, "Everyone in this room is welcome, important, accepted, respected, encouraged, valued, and equal," written over the colors of the rainbow.
How dare
Another
you?
that said,
"What?
Everyone is welcome here," showing hands of various skin tones, hearts in the palm.
Disgusting!
Those kind of things. Pretty benign signs if you look at them.
Wow.
And before we go any further,
way to
the sign with the
editorialize,
rainbow
Buster.
colors, not the same as an LGBTQ flag, although Sarah says she's very much an ally. She just doesn't advertise it in her classroom. So for 4 years, these signs have survived sans harassment. Nobody said a word about them. That is, until about a month ago.
My building administration came to me during my lunch period and told me that they needed to be taken down by the end of the day. They told me that they were in violation of district policy because in today's political environment, they're considered a personal opinion.
Did they
Where
say
was
somebody
this again?
complained about him?
Idaho.
No, I asked if anyone had complained about it them, and they said no. We just want to protect you from that if that were to happen.
In this political environment.
So to be clear, no one even complained. They were just being proactive.
Nah.
Like, hey, this might cause some problems. You probably should take it down. What?
Just put a not on top of it. Not
That is
everyone
not
is
acceptable.
respected.
Yeah, I was told a couple things that
Or like a question
everyone
mark?
is welcome here is not
You
something that
decide.
everybody believes.
Everyone is welcome
so
here?
that's what makes it
Yeah, Lionel
personal.
Hutz, the sign.
You were told this. That not everybody believes everyone is welcome.
Right.
Okay. And who told you this? Who was the one saying that not everyone believed this?
My building administration and district personnel.
Face to face, they told you this? Mm-hmm. What was your response to that?
Because I was told to take it down by the end of the day, I did so. And the following few days, I just was so unsettled by it. And so I went back into my classroom and put it back up.
Woo!
And I emailed my principal and said,
Bold move.
I don't agree. I don't agree that this is a personal opinion. I feel like this is
Like,
the
again,
basis of
everyone is
public
welcome. I don't
education.
agree. Everyone is
It's a
welcome. It's
public
personal
school, right?
thing. Yeah, it's like,
So
what?
technically, it's supposed to be true.
Everyone is valued. No bigotry. Wait a minute. They
That's
got
a-
this
I
wrong.
wish they
Everyone is
interviewed-
valued? No. Bigotry.
There we go. Now it's
I
accepted.
wish like they interviewed a school administrator. Like, what is the problem with the sign? Like where is the
I'm sure
problem?
they reached out. What school administrator would
Yeah.
want to go on camera for
Response
this?
to that.
They came to talk to me and again asked me to take it down. And I said, I'm not interested in taking it down.
That's when the district higher-ups got involved.
Uh-oh.
In an email exchange with Chief Academic Officer Marcus Myers, he highlighted the section of district policy he says Sarah's signs violated, including the advancement of individual beliefs
Beliefs that
and district
everyone is
facilities
valued.
should be content neutral. But more specifically, Myers pointed to Idaho Code, the Dignity and Non-Discrimination in Public Education Act, which says district employees and students shall respect the dignity of others and acknowledge the right of others to express differing opinions.
The right of racists.
And they're saying that putting up a poster that says everyone is welcome is a violation of that.
But
Yeah, because
isn't that poster just
everyone is
stating
welcome.
that rule? Like, if everyone's welcome here,
Exactly,
then
yeah.
bigots are also welcome here.
Yeah.
Here, especially since the poster
Especially in Idaho.
emphasizes in regards to skin color with the images of the hands that is considered something that people have differing views on.
And
So
the
what if
different
she
view
just
would be
cut out the
racist?
hands part and
I
just
mean-
had the phrase left? Would that be okay?
No, it would imply the hands, Sid. Sorry.
Ah, god damn it.
It implies brown hands.
Yeah, like what do you mean everyone?
And I can't even wrap my head around what other differing view of it would be. I mean, it's set for
Racism.
something that's
Come on, this is
exclusionary.
not the
So
ro- we don't need the Rosetta
everyone is
Stone
welcome
here.
here.
Yeah.
Really isn't a personal statement. It's non-discrimination. It's verbatim on our Explorer Way posters.
That's true. Sarah says these posters, made by the middle school principals and put up in every
Well,
classroom,
they're probably removed
lay
now,
out
too,
what it
now that
means
you
to be a
ratted 'em
Lewis and
out.
Clark explorer, welcome others, and embrace diversity. Isn't everyone is welcome here the same thing?
It is welcoming others and it is embracing diversity. And these are the students that are in our community. I just feel like, as a teacher, and I feel like probably a lot of teachers share this sentiment, I would do anything to protect my students. I love all of them unconditionally.
Well, what
we
do you mean by
protect
that?
them from danger.
Jump in front
I
of
literally
bullets.
would take a bullet for these students.
Oh,
and
Well, she might
this
have
is
already.
the one small thing that I feel like I can do to speak out against this and stand up for them, to protect them from being affected by racist sentiments
Well, after
affecting
this
their
news story, you
classroom.
may have to take a
Find
bullet
it
off
hard
of it.
to grapple with the fact that the reason why this poster needs to come down is because there are people outside of our school that disagree with it.
Just absurd. Absolutely absurd.
Sarah says she realized
This is all disinformation.
Well, so what, did she get fired? How does this wrap up? Is she still working there?
I don't know.
This is like the most like I feel like I had the same sign in my kindergarten in the 80s. It's not even like even a new progressive. It maybe might have not have had the black hands on it or
Yeah.
whatever, but that's really the only difference. Which may be why they're taking issue with it. Like just showing the rainbow is on one flag, one sign, and the other one has the black kid's hands on it. That's the only way it differs from that other sign they have.
And are there actually any black kids at this school in Idaho?
No, but I feel like it's good to teach them that there
Yeah, of
are
course,
some of those
of
people
course.
in the world.
Of course.
In case they ever leave Idaho.
Why would anyone want to leave Idaho, Darren? They got the best potatoes there.
A lot of room to hang around.
Because everybody else left.
Yeah, I have to fucking walk around, people stepping on your feet, Times Square, shit like that.
Talking in your earpiece while you're trying to break down the Big East tournament.
Yeah, that always
Dude,
happens in Idaho.
Quiet. Imagine they move Mike Francesa moves to Idaho to finally get away from his dumb producers.
He might be in Idaho. We don't know, for all we know, doing that stupid podcast. How do we know? He goes outside. Long Island looks identical to some street in Idaho,
That's
right?
fair. That's fair.
Doesn't know where he is.
He started wandering in the Lincoln Tunnel and ended up in Idaho.
He walked 2,200 miles to Idaho.
Oh my God!
Welcome to Idaho, sir. Are you Rosie O'Donnell? We're not sure. We've seen you on television. It might be. You're either a random man wandering around the tunnels of the United States, or you're Rosie O'Donnell, screen actress Rosie O'Donnell. They had to reject her because of the exit to Eden. It's too vulgar,
too suggestive. Yeah,
too revealing.
I'm now imagining Mike Francesa chewing out this poor Idaho teacher for the poster. Like, hey, you kidding me with this poster? What do you do with this poster? It doesn't even make sense. How could everyone be welcome here? We only take students from 5 zip codes. You got to be in the zip codes. It's not everyone. It's everyone within the zip codes. What?
They are correcting me now. They're correcting me now. There were only 4 zip codes in Idaho. I know that. One of them is a dual zip code. I know that. I don't need your correction in my ear.
Doesn't make any sense.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh, Mike. It is now Mike who's turning into a mad dog. Am I right?
Oh
guys?
no! It comes for all of us.
It really is true, though. Like when Mad Dog was around, he was much more subdued. I don't know if people remember this, but you would almost never hear him fly into a rage like he does occasionally now.
It was just off the air. He knew better to keep it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure he was
quiet.
the same shitty person. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like his radio persona was to be like bemused, like at how crazy Mad Dog was.
Yeah.
Now it's like he's both guys in one now.
That's his talent.
Who listens to that shit? Like, do people actually listen other than to like pull clips?
Is it just streaming on YouTube? Is there like how?
I can't imagine. Like,
do they release an actual podcast that you can download?
Does he have a
guess they might.
Patreon? I can't imagine. Like, you know, the only reason anyone knows who he is because he was like his show was sandwiched around sports updates and weather and traffic on the biggest station in New York City, and that's the only reason anyone. It's not like anyone sought him out because of his amazing talent. You know.
It seems like it's released very inconsistently. Like some weeks there's multiple episodes, and there's weeks without anything.
So he just does it when he rolls out of bed and feels like doing it. That tracks.
Or maybe it's when he gets an ad when like, oh, we need you know, like 3 shows this
Well,
week.
it's on the Bet Rivers network.
I see.
That's the this great casino that I love that was called had a very unique, wonderful name called Sugar House because it was built in a former abandoned sugar factory.
Oh wow.
It's such a nice, quaint name, and it was bought out by a Rivers Casino, so it's called Rivers Casino now, which is so lame. Same place. I just love that name, Sugar House.
I don't want Mike Francesa saying that though.
Sponsored by Sugar House. No, Mike, it's Rivers now. Do you know? I know that. I know that. I don't need you in my ear telling me it's not Sugar House. I know that.
You're listening to the Mike Francesa podcast on the Tesler network.
Tesler.
I love
Everything on this podcast, this computer. Download it.
They're really like you know, born from the same cloth. Or
100%.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. I was just hired 8 seconds ago. The last guy quit. It's actually Tesla. I know that, you son of a bitch.
Tesla is the singular of the plural Tesla. I get it. You don't understand.
also funny to me now, like Sean Hannity has to praise electric cars now. You know, it's like a conservative thing to praise these death traps.
Yeah, there was
not
a whole...
all electric cars, I want to be clear, are death traps. It's explicitly Teslas are death traps.
There was that whole debate about, you know, when I guess Sam Cedar debated like 20 conservatives in a circle. They all would run up and ask him stupid questions or whatever. I think the format was he takes an opinion and it's like change my mind. So he says 20 things.
He declares a statement,
and then one person at a time. Each thing he says, a person runs up and sits down and argues against him. But all of it, like 90% of these 20 people were. Like they looked like Starbucks baristas. Like people were talking about how the aesthetic of conservatives is changing and absorbing, like, you know, people who would have been considered leftists.
Where did he find these 20 people to participate?
Right, that's the thing. I think it's an LA based.
It's a show that does this on different.
It's a show on Jubilee, by the way, which is the same outlet where we did that last week. We reviewed that show about gaydar.
Oh,
so it's the same people that do that. I think
was it the same people? Is the 20 conservatives were also the 20 that we guess if they're gay or not? They
well,
just
the thing is,
go from room to room, participating in different shows.
I agree. I do think there is truth to your statement, Darren, but I think that the video itself is not representative of the true full base. It's more like the producers picking out people that look unique, you know, and especially like the one guy who is getting all of this PR because Sam Cedar was debating with him about tax breaks, and Sam Cedar goes like, "Oh, government institutions don't get tax breaks," and he goes, "Yes, they do.
They don't even pay taxes."
Yeah, like whatever. That guy is a casting agent for Jubilee.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
it's an inside job.
Yeah.
I want to also be clear, like that was not my statement. I was just remarking as an observer. But who's that in my ear saying that was my statement? That was not my statement.
It was Robert Pazzabini's talking.
Robert Pazzabini, you fired. No, but that was like it was going around.
Yeah.
I think.
Here's the clip I was referencing. And to your point, Darren.
I'm talking about Trump's rescission of these orders
on these agencies. If you received a tax cut as an employer, wouldn't you hire a person of color?
Dude,
if you could pay them less?
Listen, we're talking about government agencies that do not get tax cuts. Government agencies.
They don't.
No.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do.
I'm talking about
every private and public sector gets tax cuts when you hire a person of color.
Government agencies don't pay taxes. Government agencies are funded by the government.
That is not true. That is not true.
What?
And you know what?
Look
I think
I'm talking for Sam Cedar. It's an interesting concept for a show. They've had some the other way where it's Ben Shapiro and 20 liberals, and it goes. I think as far as like clickbaity video content, it's really clever.
I just don't want to listen to either side of this conversation.
Yeah, seriously.
All. Like,
exactly.
Totally agree. It's not for me.
Sam Cedar is like not a bright bulb, and he is outclassing all these people. Like, because there's
I agree. I feel like Sam Cedar. It's like I don't have a strong negative opinion on it. Like, he's fine. Mm-hmm. We agree on a lot of things. So it's just funny to me that, like, man, even like his more center left approach is like so far off from what the mainstream center is. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's my point, is that all these people, they like make him look like, Albert Einstein or whatever, because they've rounded up the absolute worst people in America.
Exactly, because he just has the most basic logic, typically logical viewpoint. Like, this is just facts that they're disagreeing with.
Keep
even an opinion.
His thing, keep voting for Democrats forever, and it's the most important election of our lifetime. But they're not even challenging him on anything substantive. It's just like the government agencies pay taxes to the government.
It's a Twitter debate, but you get a video of it instead of just reading it. That's all it is.
Yes.
And this is the tweet that you were referencing, Taryn, about pointing out how some of these conservatives look like baristas because these are just the people.
Yeah.
This one especially. Rob, would you hook up with this guy? You definitely
This is the
would.
guy who's the casting agent. I unfortunately would hook up with him. I would
100%.
He definitely
Really? He just has a punchable face.
Well, Rob's not seeing his face
Exactly.
most of the night.
Oh, you want to punch his face? That's
He's
punch him
seeing
with
the
my
ponytail.
Yeah, use the ponytail as something to grab onto. It's
By the way, Rob, punch him with my cack. That voice you just used, that was the Chicago accent. Next time you want to pull that out.
Oh, okay, good. Good to know.
Dan Donegan's going to get a cack punch.
Dan Donegan. Come here, Dan.
In more horrific news in the gay world, this fucking dipshit killed his fiance. Dipshit is even a polite term. Man accused of killing fiance and staging death as suicide Googled, "Can I kill an illegal human?" beforehand. So I guess he got into a fight with his fiance, who was also a man and an illegal immigrant.
Oh.
And I just the Google search, "Can I kill an illegal human?"
Why would you need to kill them?
Human?
Just have them deported. Wouldn't that be much easier?
I think if I can read between the lines and I scan the story, I think it's like, can I kill a person? Does it make it legal for me to kill them if they're illegal? He wanted to kill them a priori. And then he's saying, well, does the fact that they're undocumented mean I can kill them legally?
Right. According to an affidavit seen by ABC 13, police believe Vaughn, 31, shot his 27-year-old partner, then moved the body. Police revealed Norberto was discovered lying on a bed with a rifle propped up against one of his arms.
Oh, my God.
So he tried to make it look like a suicide, like his fiance killed himself.
Bring in
alongside
Columbo.
a torn picture of himself. And Vaughn told police that he and Norberto had been arguing before he came home at around 5:30 a.m. to find him dead.
Oh, that's my mother's
Surveillance
birthday.
footage suggested that Vaughn had actually returned home just after 4 a.m. An arrest affidavit says earlier that he told police. Neighbors reported hearing gunshots around that time. Police said at 4:30, Vaughn texted the victim, "Babe, why are you not texting me back?" Vaughn then called 911 at 5:30. Investigators say, "My spouse is dead. Help. My life is over." A court document said the suspect had allegedly searched online whether or not it was illegal for him to kill an illegal immigrant. Hours before his partner's death, police had added the suspect repeatedly highlighted his fiance's immigration status unprompted during the interview.
Hey, did I mention he's illegal?
Vaughn,
I can go now, right?
Here in style as the defendant, unlawfully intended to cause serious bodily harm, and did cause the death of by committing an act clearly dangerous to human life, namely shooting the complaint with a deadly weapon. Now,
that is dangerous to human life. Yes.
This dumbass, all he really needed to do was call the cops, and they would have killed the guy for him. But when he took it upon himself to do it, that's what made it illegal.
So, since this is a respected outlet, they're not showing the photo that's being passed around. The blogs. So this is the photo of the two of them.
Oh my God.
The partner of his for our audio listeners. So it's a selfie. It's a mirror selfie of the couple, the no longer existing lovely couple, and his undocumented partner, let's call him, is wearing a shirt that says "Pound my throat," and this murderer is wearing a shirt that says "Throat Pounder." So
Rob, I got to ask
times.
you a question here.
Yes.
So clearly this implies that the victim was the bottom and the murder was the top, correct?
Yes.
If you had just read this story without seeing that picture, would you have guessed that was the dynamic just based on the story, or did the shirts surprise you?
I'm sorry. You're saying if I heard if I just read the story,
and I asked you to guess who the top and who the bottom was in the relationship.
Was this the Jubilee video?
and I wouldn't have seen any photos of them.
Correct. Or a specific photo like that explaining.
Right. I feel like murdering. I feel like it's top behavior what he tried to do.
What?
I don't know.
So can you relate then? A little bit?
It's hard to. I've never wanted. No, of course
not.
Are
you telling on yourself?
A little bit.
No, I can't say either way, honestly, just because I went into the story knowing like this is how I saw the story.
You went into his throat.
If you killed a guy during sex, like you suffocated him with your penis, you probably feel like a little pride, even though you'd maybe be upset.
With penis? Oh yeah.
Like, all right. I mean,
you would mourn the loss, but then you would also put the story in your Grindr profile.
I've certainly had a hookup back in my day, back when I did hookups. I'm retired from the hookup game. But where
you're like Ric Flair retired.
This was in LA, I remember, and this one guy was this muscle dude who was really into being choked, and I was like, all right, sure, whatever, but like so into being choked that after a while I was just like, all right, that's too far, man. I'm not choking you anymore. Like I don't want to have to. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to have to call the cops and have to explain what's going on.
Was it Scott Steiner?
No.
The first encounter I ever had with anyone who liked being choked was she really liked being choked. She was one of my girlfriends that I was in love with, not like a hookup or anything or a fling. Like Rob actually met her. But yeah, she
and how much like for how long at a time would you be choking?
I was scared to do it. Like she had to coax me into it. I had to like I would do, I did the play acting little thing, and she's like, fucking squeeze, motherfucker. Like she was
question, Darren, would you have been more into doing it if she wore a Yankee hat during sex?
I wouldn't be dating her. That would be a deal breaker.
But if she just to get you in character, she did that. She wasn't actually a fan.
Maybe like in a role-playing sense. Yeah, possibly.
Great question, Sid.
I can see that. We didn't think of that. She was a Mets fan. We didn't think of that. But yeah, I remember one time, remember our friend Jeff, R.I.P. Jeff and Jeff's girlfriend at the time, who became his wife, and the two of us, me and this woman, went to TGI Fridays. So Jeff and his wife both went in to find out the table situation and left the two of us in Jeff's car in the back. We were just furiously making out, and she's like fucking instructing me to
even during making out
in the middle of a fucking TGI Fridays parking lot.
Imagine like the valet walks by and sees a dude choking a woman.
Well, that's what I didn't do it. But she was trying to get me to do it, and then Jeff comes out, and we're like, okay, I have an excuse not to like get arrested here.
Wow,
wonderful girl.
Did she also need to be choked while eating her Jack Daniel's bourbon chicken tenders?
I don't remember what we ate. Sadly, this is like 30 years ago almost. No, what was it? I guess like 2001.
Right around when that girl was singing the national anthem.
Yeah, right. Maybe someone choked her. Can we investigate that?
Oh.
Go back to that photo, by the way. I wanted to mention that guy looks exactly like
I'm sorry.
like
the throat pounder?
The poundee, I was gonna say. It looks like if Eddie Guerrero never did steroids.
Like a chode Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. Eddie Chode Guerrero.
Let's not mock the dead.
They're together now. They're together now in heaven.
Oh, I thought you meant Eddie Guerrero. Who cares about this guy?
Oh, come on. He didn't do anything.
I thought you meant I was mocking Eddie Guerrero. I would never. Yeah, pound my throat guy. Looks like. Doesn't he look like a little Eddie?
You can see it.
Puffy Eddie.
Which of these guys would you rather hook up with, Rob, if you had to?
I'd rather hook up with the one who wants his throat pounded. The bottom.
If they were both willing to do whatever you were into, Rob,
just on looks.
Just on looks. I'm not into the top guy. I don't really like.
That guy's got a creepy face. He's got a creepy face too.
Yeah.
Not even gay, and I could say this other guy.
Dusty Rhodes Buffer says he looks like super crazy.
How do we know?
Which one? No.
Well, the murderer is super crazy.
Yeah.
He's got super crazy. Has like very tight curls though, curly hair.
It's true.
Maybe it's like super crazy doing a new gimmick of the throat poundee.
That's his finishing move.
Super bottom. He's now not super crazy anymore.
Isn't that a Nicki Minaj song?
Maybe.
Close.
What is it called? Super something.
I forget. It's not
super bass?
Super bass. Yeah, that's that one. Boom, 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 boom. Pound my throat.
That's a drop.
Bring it on.
That's what he said.
Right before he died.
Do you think they're gonna have this picture up at the funeral? Like, when they have like a neck around the casket, they have all the font
I don't
photos.
think so. I'm guessing not. I'm guessing he's not welcome, this dipshit.
Was the throat pounder? Was Nick Broomfield involved in uncovering that the shotgun was pointed in the wrong direction? We discovered the throat pounder's fingerprints upon the.
But also, imagine I feel even worse for the guy who was murdered because this is his lasting fucking the lasting memory of him.
What, that he was a throat poundee?
Yeah, it's a little undignified.
Well, he chose that path in life. Maybe he's proud of it.
I mean, he
didn't know that it would go public.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he wore that shirt out to get breakfast tacos. That's for special occasions.
Aren't there any photos of you that would surface if someone murdered you, Rob?
There's that photo of him in the mesh top when he's dressed like Danzig.
And the Golden Gods.
Nothing embarrassing about that. Right?
The Thor Shredstein photos, maybe?
Let's talk about our Spotify playlist. Each week we pick a song, we throw it on the playlist. Call it the RIP Livecast Music Break. You can search for it on Spotify. Over 800 songs.
He's very interested in our Patreon.
Oh,
hey,
little acrobatics. Darren's cat just jumped on his chair. That's awesome.
Wow. What balance.
He is very athletic. Okay. Where are you going?
He wants to be on camera. He's getting closer.
Butthole right in my face now.
So I picked Small Town Boy by Bronski Beat. It's a great
Small Town Throat Pounder.
Oh.
R.I.P. a Small Town
R.I.P. a Throat Pounder.
Well, no, the Throat Pounder's still alive.
All right, the Throat Pounder.
Wasn't Bronski Beat made one of the first out gay bands or something? It's ringing a bell for me.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think that might be an offensive joke, Sid. Calling them throat pounders.
Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable, Sid. Who was the person that requested the New Order song? I can't.
That was Bobby Anand from the Discord.
Bobby, we got you in the. This is your favorite New Order song, I hear. And you requested "Bizarre Love Triangle," and that's why I picked my Bronski Beat thong. What? My Bronski Beat.
They played
song.
in thongs on stage.
They didn't play in thongs, but because I feel it's very adjacent to New Order. It would fit right on those goth playlists in London that all those goth kids would go to in the early 80s that I'd love to attend, where eventually house music was born or co-opted from the Detroit DJs, because people went to Detroit and brought back records and then co-opted this music that black people created and made their
That's how long ago it was that people actually were going to Detroit.
Yeah, so that's my pick, and that's our fan pick. And by the way, if you're a listener, if you want to have a song added to the playlist, shoot us an email, riplivecast@gmail.com. riplivecast@gmail.com. Sid, what's your pick?
Well, on the flight, the long 6.5 hour long flight to Portland, I eventually ran out of podcasts to listen to, so I was forced to open up Spotify and actually listen to music for a little while.
Wi-Fi, that's nice.
Yeah. $8 for Alaska Airlines Wi-Fi for a 6-hour flight. I thought that was worth paying for. And I put on Texas is the Reason, one of my favorites. One of my favorite vocalists, actually. Like, as a band, they're high up, but they only put out one album, so it's hard for me to say they're one of my favorite bands when they have such a small catalog. But Garrett Klon, this lead singer, is one of my favorite, if not my favorite vocalist of all time. So listening to that always puts me in a nice mood. And that was the end of a long flight. I was sort of agitated, but I was like, all right, let me put on his vocals will soothe me. And it worked. So I picked the song of Jack with One Eye. Texas is the Reason. Darren, what's your pick?
I can't wait until this plane lands so I can go back to doing exactly what I was doing before I got on the plane.
Eat some Jack in the Box and fucking look at fantasy scores.
Listen to the podcast. I had a memory jogged of this old freestyle artist because apparently Kendrick Lamar covered her song.
He sampled.
I said covered. You're right. Sampled her song.
Who's that in Darren's ear saying that? You're wrong.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Get out of there.
I know what a sample and a cover is, okay? You must have heard me wrong. There was an audio glitch.
You talk about the cover of the CD single.
Yeah, Debbie Deb rules. I'm with you, Darren. Not to spoil the pick.
She is great. She also has a really kind of sort of semi-tragic story because she's still alive. Not that kind of tragic story.
Oh, what's the story? I don't know her story.
Well, she was signed at age 17 and they kind of screwed her over. She wrote all these songs that she sang and the lyrics to them. And I guess the DJ, whoever, was producing these songs just kind of took the rights to everything. She never really she had to sue later on to make money. Go ahead, sorry.
Same with the early house DJs. Like, I was just joking with that. Like, same exact thing. Like, it was just this Jewish record label, Trax Records, this Jewish record executive. It's like the typical story. Everyone just gets, they're so desperate to be famous. They sign away all their rights. They don't realize what they're doing because they don't understand the business of it. And then they get fucked over when they get a big hit.
And even worse with her was that they flat out told her, we want you to do the songs and sing, but you're too heavy. They told her image was wrong for
girl.
who they. But if you look at her back then, I think she was hot. She's a Zoftig woman now. She looks like she's a large woman. But I mean, she's 59 now. But
she has a very pretty face, regardless.
She's beautiful and she has a really nice voice. And they said, we don't want you to be the face of Debbie Deb. And they had other women record songs under the name Debbie Deb. And just put it all into this discography of different women who are all singing as Debbie Deb, which is astonishing to me that you could even do that. They could never obviously pass muster today.
Yeah, that was also a CNC Music Factory, right? That was the same thing.
It was at
a wash,
but that was later. Yeah,
right. But that wasn't that. Were they ever singing though? CNC Music Factory, was that a Milli Vanilli situation, or was that
the producers? But that Everybody Dance now used vocals from Martha Wash, but they didn't put her in the video. They put a good look, like a model. Lip sync.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot that story. But that's her now. But I mean, if you look at that photo in the top, the fourth one from the left, I mean, it's a beautiful woman. That's not her.
And also, this is not.
I don't think that's her. Yeah,
that's probably one of the fake Debbie Debs.
But the one where it says Debbie Deb Lookout Weekend, the top one on the fourth from the left, that's her.
That's her?
Oh no, that's not her. I was looking at a thumbnail.
I don't know who that is.
Well, it looks like her in a thumbnail. But she was attractive New York plump woman.
Yeah, and a great voice. So the song that Kendrick sampled is "When I Hear Music," and that's in I think Scrabble Up. Great album, by the way. I really like the new Kendrick album. Great beat. We've talked about it already. But yeah, and Darren, which one did you pick? You picked "Lookout Weekend," which is a better song.
Awesome.
And a great jam. It's also on my freestyle mix, which if anybody wants that, just message me in the Discord. I'll post the link in the Discord. But I have a whole mix of all my favorite freestyle songs. I love freestyle. It just
takes me back
to
New York. Old
yes,
New York.
Exactly. It just reminds me of the streets of New York. It was inescapable music because everyone's just blasting it on the streets, and it just reminds me of spring and summer. And every year around this time, when the weather gets a little nicer, I like to blast it.
It's the soundtrack to Eddie Pepitone walking through the Queens Midtown Tunnel with a Santa sack full of Quaaludes.
Yes! And a great way to bring it all back. All right, and if you like the show, want to show us a little bit of support, show us how much you like us. Head up our Patreon, patreon.com/RIPLivecast. Donate as much or as little as you want. We'd appreciate any tip. If you donate $4 a month, you get access to all of our bonus episodes.
By the way, did I just say Eddie Pepitone? I meant Joe Pepitone.
I was going to
Eddie Pepitone is the comedian. He's still alive.
I know. Rob was trying to wrap up the show. I was going to do the Mike Francesa intern bit that correct you, but you called it out yourself. Fire yourself.
Eddie Pepitone, great comedian. Look him up.
And so on our Patreon, you get access to all of our bonus episodes. Right now, we have a watch along this month of Joanna Man. And it's quite a bad movie, but we had quite a fun time destroying it, analyzing it, and kind of reworking it, deciding how it could possibly work. So check that out, patreon.com/RPLivecast. And if you donate $8 a month, you get a shout out at the end of the show. You get to be a top RIP Live Guest fan get a shout out, which is right now. And Darren, do you want to do them as Mike Francesa, getting these names in his headset and knowing them already?
You're muted, Mike. You're muted.
Don't tell me I'm muted. Okay, I can see whether I'm muted or not. Every week we hire a new guy who would tell me I'm muted. Don't tell me I'm muted. All right, Benjamin, Dan R. Okay, don't try to correct me that the Seattle Supersonics moved to Oklahoma City. All right, I know that they were in Seattle. Now they're in Oklahoma. I don't need you to. You're fired. Shush. And Landa Danks, do not correct me on which type of butter I like. Okay, Landa Danks, you think you're a butter expert. You're going to get shout in my ear about how much you know about butter. I know. Look at my body. I know about butter. LaCroix, Corey, Scotty H. Okay, talking about how I look exactly like Rosie O'Donnell. I do not look at Rosie O'Donnell, and I take offense to what you and what 3D said earlier. I have rectangular frames. She has circular frames. Okay, not the same glasses. We do not look anything alike. Aaron, Jeremy, you two talking about the tell me that I was wrong about the Atlanta Falcons coordinator job. That is not correct. I know everything about football. You are hereby banished to football hell. You are never to speak of football again, whether in my ear or otherwise. Okay, Mr. Schmertzler, trying to tell me about that you know more about Jews than I do. Excuse me. I am very good friends with the great Gene Simmons of KISS. He keeps me updated on all the Jewish goings on at the weekly, controlling the media types of organizations that they have over there. Douglas, who are you, Levison and Slinkies? You're going to tell me that you know more about Manny's Chicken Franchise than I do. I'm sorry. What? Nobody knows more. Nobody knows more about Chicken Franchise than Mike Francesa. I'm sorry, Mike Francesa. Who corrected me on my name? What? You're fired too. And Janda and Randy Blatt. Don't tell me about the Chicago Bulls for fire that singed the banners above the stage. I know more about Disturbed than any of you will ever, and I am more of a Chicago person than you, Janda. So go fuck the White Sox. Back after this.
Folks, that's our show. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week. Until then, we love you. We kiss you. Bye-bye.